We're continuing with Principle 12, discussing the two ways, the way of conscious spiritual development and the way of suffering, which both work to bring us to the goal of attaining the state of unconditional love. We're at the end here, it's discussing 10 different insights into suffering from the Baal Sulam. We got to number 6 on page 36. So maybe we'll just read through now through to the end. Number 6. Our desire to receive is the cause of all the problems that we have with each other. We take advantage of one another because we're focused on ourselves and don't really care that much about others and their problems. All the oppression of humanity comes from people caring only about themselves. In the end, however, this comes back at us like a boomerang and brings great suffering. If we were, on the other hand, to root our lives in caring and doing for others, we would live prosperous lives in peace and tranquility. When we finally become concerned with each other's well-being, we will see the fulfillment of the verse in the Torah, there will no longer be poor people in the land. Number 7. We appreciate true joy only through connection to God. As long as we are entrenched in our desire to receive, we are not able to connect to God, because God has no desire to receive and only desires to give. Loving only ourselves disconnects us from God and therefore disconnects us from the true happiness. Number 8. The suffering we experience as a result of our desire to receive is intended to awaken us to the worthlessness of desiring to receive. The suffering brings us to realize that the most valuable things in life are giving and having love for others. When we realize this, we will do everything we can to attain true love for others and be giving. Since God has the attribute of pure giving, when we attain pure giving, we attain union with God. We then experience true happiness. We also become able to receive all the divine goodness that was prepared for us because we're able to enjoy the pleasure not for self-gratification, but in a state of divine service. Nine. Suffering continues until we realize that the most important things in life are believing rather than knowing and giving rather than receiving. I'm going to read that one more time. Suffering continues until we realize that the most important things in life are believing rather than knowing and giving rather than receiving. Number 10, when we are not given happiness, it is so that we can attain true happiness. If we believe that all our sufferings is for our benefit, we can accept everything we go through with love. So this is all continuing to discuss what we've been talking about until now. We learn in kindergarten that it's nice to be giving and not nice to care only for ourselves. But this learning is trying to get us to realize it's just not just a nice idea, but that everything we're going through in all of our existence right now is this transformation from desire to receive to desire to give. That's what's happening here. That's the transformation that our souls are working with. That all the events of our lives are designed to aid in this transformation. That's what we're going through. That's what's happening. And to the extent that we're working on this and trying to more be in the state of giving and loving, So all of our reality is rearranging itself accordingly. And the extent that we're only rooted in our own self-interest and not interested in going beyond that, so then the universe is bringing sufferings that are working to help move us beyond, to help us progress. So it's trying to see just how this concept of this transformation from desire to receive to desire to give is everything going on, not just a nice idea. That this transformation is the solution to all of our sufferings. He says at the end here, number 10, when we are not giving happiness, it is so that we can attain true happiness. If we believe that all of our sufferings is for our benefit, we can accept everything we go through with love. So the idea isn't every suffering that we have is to just to stay in that suffering and say, oh, this is what's given to me. The sufferings are given for us also to encourage us to make shifts in what we're doing and in our consciousness, and to change the situation, to go out of sufferings to the extent that we can. Right? But for all the sufferings that there's nothing that we can do about them, nothing that we can externally do about them besides our relationship with how we're relating to them. So if we can realize that suffering is only to bring us much higher levels of happiness, then we can imagine that everything we're going through is coming from the source of reality that's only in the process of bestowing goodness to us. So then the sufferings that we were not able to do anything about, we can accept them with love. There's one ending here on the next page for this section. It says, God and God's goodness are intentionally hidden from us. If this were not the case and divine goodness was revealed before we are ready, we would enjoy the pleasure egotistically in a self-gratifying way, disconnected from God. God's goodness being temporarily hidden from us gives us the opportunity to attain the state of giving. And that's the whole concept of tzimtzum that we discussed about. Right? The idea that the divine goodness is hidden from us until we're able to experience it in the ultimate way, which is not in the way of receiving it in a way that's self-serving, but in a way of unconditional love, a way of loving back. To receive the divine goodness in a state of giving, where the giver of the gift is more precious to us than the gift. That our love is for our divine source and not for the gift that's being bestowed to us. That our love for our divine source, it transcends our love of the pleasure of the divine experience. And that pleasure of divine experience that we're here to experience is so magnificent that if it was revealed any aspect of that now, if it's revealed before we're able to love the giver of the gift more than the gift, then we're not ready to experience it yet. because the idea is for us to come to experience it in the ultimate way. So the idea is that the goodness is hidden from us right now, and step by step, we're learning to reach higher and higher levels of love, which is enabling us to be ready to experience all the divine goodness in the ultimate way. Okay, so we'll end for now, and next time, God willing, go on to principle 13.